Thank you for joining us today at Servant Crafts. My name is Carla, and today we'll begin a baby blanket project. It's crocheted in a corner-to-corner pattern, and it will be a teddy bear. The link to the pattern will be in the description below. Corner-to-corners are simple, but you do need to follow a specific pattern and directions, and they have many color changes in order to develop your design. This can cause yarn tangling, so I don't recommend it for a beginner project, but if you are a comfortable crocheter, go for it. Let's get started. I'll use a scrap here and just show you how the squares in the corner-to-corner crochet are each formed. They're all done exactly the same, so that's what makes it so simple. It's just a matter of changing colors. So each time you're going to make a square, a new square, it begins with 6 chains. Oops. Then you go in to the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3. That's not right. I'm using a K crochet hook. The pattern calls for a J. I always step up 1 hook size because I tend to crochet very tightly. Now you're going to do a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a double crochet in the last 2 chains. In each of the last 2 chains. This creates a square in a square-to-square crochet. So each square has 1, 2, 3 double crochets and a chain of 3 chains, and that develops the square. Now to add a square to this, I'm going to add, this is my first row, that's the corner one, so then I'm going to chain 6 again. Again, go in the 4th chain from the hook and do a double crochet in that and the next 2 chains. And there's your second square. Now, to finish this row, you're going to twist the original square, put your hook in the chain 3 loop, and slip stitch. Now you can start the next chain because you'll need 2 squares on the second row, and that chain will begin with just 3 chains, and then into that chain space you're going to do the 3 double crochets that you would normally do to make a square. And now you've got your corner. That's the first square, and then the next 2 squares form your next row. And it goes on from there. So because I'm going to hold it just like I have it. I'm going to start another row, so that means 6 chains. And in the 4th chain from the hook, double crochet in the next chain space, and double crochet in the next chain. Now twist your work, go into the chain space from this next square and slip stitch, and you've got 3 chains to go here and 3 double crochets in the chain space, and the next one you're going to find the chain space Go into that with your hook, slip stitch, chain 3, and 3 double crochets. So you can see that it's a simple pattern. You do the same thing for each square, and how you develop the pattern or the picture or the image is by changing colors. The challenge becomes when you change colors, you've got extra strings and tails and everything, and that's where it can become complicated. And you do have to wind bobbins of your yarn so that you can make the color changes when necessary without dragging a color of yarn across squares that have been made. But so each square is made up of 3 chains and 3 double crochets, and you need to know how to slip stitch, and that's really all you need to know how to do this pattern. There we go. The main blanket is finished. Now I'll begin putting edging on it, but you can see this is the pattern and just each of the little squares and how they form a cute little image. And now I'll go around the blanket with the cream, the tan, and then finish with the camo, and that will finish it off and make it look finished and professional. Hi, we are finishing up our teddy bear, our camo teddy bear baby blanket. Just to let you know how I finished it, I went around the edge with the cream colored yarn, 2 rows of single crochet. At each corner you need to make sure that you do 3 single crochets in each corner. That allows the corner to be squared off and turn, and then that gives you a space to do the 3 single crochets for the next row is going to be in that center single crochet. So 2 rows of single crochet cream. That first row is the most difficult. It's difficult to get it even, but just go with your gut. I tend to err on the side of too many crochets, and then it gets real wibbly and wobbly. So I tried to scale it back a little this time so that it would be nice and flat. Then I did 4 rows of the camo single crochet, and then another row in the brown single crochet, and then my final edging is this backward single crochet that makes kind of a corded or a little heavier binding on the edge, and I'll show you how to do that. I call it a backward single crochet. I'm not quite sure what it's really technically called, but you actually work a single crochet backwards. So instead of going to my left, which is how I would normally crochet, I'm going to go to my right and go into the next crochet, yarn over, and pull through. Go through the next single crochet, pick up the yarn over, pull through. It's exactly a single crochet, just backwards. And it's not too difficult. It looks odd as you're making it, but when you pull it back to look at the finished product, it really does end up finishing a item, a piece of work with a really nice kind of finished look, as opposed to kind of unfinished or not done very professionally. So I'm going to just finish these last few stitches and then tie it off, and hopefully show you the finished product. I did weave in all the ends before I started my finish edging. Just makes it a little easier, and it's not my favorite thing to do, so I like to get it done and out of the way so that my finishing feels more like it's finished, not like there's a whole bunch more to go. Now the last one can be a little bit of a challenge. So you're just going to find that first backwards crochet, and I'm going to kind of dig into it, pull through, and make my final knot. Now I can cut it off, but you can see the edges. 2 rows of cream, 4 rows of camo, 1 row of tan, and then the row of the backward single crochet.